What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Red and Gold Standard Podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. We got a bit of a depressing show to bring you guys this afternoon as the 49ers got whooped 26-15 in Houston versus the Houston Texans. Before I toss it over to the guy Mike, if you're watching on X, do us a solid, hit like and repost. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, hit like and subscribe, hop in the chat. We want to hear your guys' thoughts. Subscribe to both channels, 49ers Hive and Nothing But Niners, so you don't miss a thing. Mike, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm all right, man. This was a tough loss, and we are here to overreact. Well, I'm here to overreact. This was just tough, like just everywhere. It's bad that we're leaving a game, and I think the special teams unit may have been the best phase of the game, and that's including like terrible Sky Moore decisions. But they still may have been the best phase of the game for the 49ers. So, I mean, that just basically sums it all up. But, I'll tell you what, though, my family's home. This is an early game, which means I get to spend some more time with them when we're done with this episode. Like, I'm going to sit here and get on their nerves now. Like, I'm just going to go and, like, just hang on them. Like, literally. Like, they're upstairs in their room. I'm just going to go invade and, like, just get in their bed and be like, hey, so what you doing? Like, I can't wait to get on my kids' nerves. So,
there you go. Yeah, that's a positive. It was an ugly, ugly outing. I mean, it looked like the 49ers were going to go a whole first half without even a first down. This Houston's Texans offense that has looked atrocious outside of like two games this year against teams that were combined like 2-11 or 2-12 or something like that was just methodical. I mean, moving the ball down the field, death by 1,000 cuts. The 49ers defense had no answer, And, they were doing the whole bend, don't break thing early on. And, the opening drive by the Texans, 16 plays for 57 yards that ends in a field goal. And we're thinking, okay, well, the 49ers are going to come back and answer. Now, after a couple of weird penalties that moved the ball back and forth on each team, 49ers ultimately go 3 and out. On third and, 7, Jones throws an incomplete pass to McCaffrey, so they have to punt. The Texans then go 9 plays again for 71 yards and get another field goal. And I'm thinking, man, this kind of feels like, and it was totally different, but it kind of felt like that Eagles game a couple years ago where the Niners offense just had no answer. The defense was allowing the Eagles to go down the field, but they held them to 2 field goals, and it can all be erased in 1 touchdown. Like that, the 49ers are back in the lead, up 7-6. But that wasn't what the 49ers offense had in store. So they're down 6-0. And again, to start the second quarter, they go 3 and out. 8-yard run on first down, incomplete pass on second down. And then on 3rd and 2, Jones hits Demarcus Robinson behind the line of scrimmage, or at the very best at the line of scrimmage. And 3rd and 2, Mike, can you at least throw to the first down marker? Can you at least have a route that's ran that if he gets caught, it's a first down? Am I crazy here?
No, and that was the frustrating thing is, like, first of all, the lack of usage of McCaffrey in the first half. I don't know if you heard the stat during the game. They said that McCaffrey didn't have a touch for the entire first quarter for the first time in his career as a starter. I understand that we went 3 and out, but you didn't run the ball once with him. So then when you finally do run the ball with him, like you did in your reflection, you get 7 or 8 yards, and then you don't run with him again anymore.
Right. Well, to be fair, one was wiped out by a penalty, but I agree with you. I agree. He did have a handoff that got wiped out on that first drive.
Right.
But it's not enough. I mean, it's just not enough. Go ahead.
No. And so, like, you feel like, all right, well, here we go. We get him in 3rd and short. Let's go. Like, let's start. We still probably have opening script plays at this point. Let's go ahead and get this first down. Throw the ball to the line of game, not behind it. And, like, we just do. Like, I don't understand. It was very frustrating to watch. Extremely frustrating.
Yeah. You would think at least run a route. How about, I understand we're outmatched in the trenches, right? The 49ers offensive line was just getting worked by Will Anderson, Derek Barnett, these guys that are on the Texans defensive line. But then how about run some quick slants? How about run some quick outs, some quick options? It seemed like Mac Jones was dropping back and waiting for routes that take 3 to 5 seconds to develop down the field, when he only has 2 seconds in the backfield to begin with. So it was an ugly game. It really was an ugly game. So after the third 3-and-out, I want to say, the Texans up already 6-0, 10 plays, 82 yards. That ends in a touchdown this time. CJ Stroud hits Higgins for 12 yards. It looked like a complete bust in coverage in the middle of the field. Mind you, the Texans had converted, let's see, on this drive alone, a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 5, only 2 third downs on this drive, excuse me. But I think they finished the game here. I had it. Let me pull it up again. Way too efficient. On 3rd downs, the Texans were 9 for 16, which actually looks a little better because at one point they were 9 for 11. So I guess the final 4th quarter, the Niners finally got some stops on 3rd down. Where on the flip side, the Niners were 3 for 9, 3 for 9 on 3rd down. So just unacceptable play by the Niners all over. And to add literally insult to injury, they were dropping like flies still, Mike. I mean, Jordan Elliott gets hurt. D. Winters gets hurt. Sam Okuanu's carted off. Alfred Collins gets hurt. Thankfully, he was able to return. But it's like, not that you want any injuries on either side, but why is it only the defense that gets hurt? You know, like it's almost laughable at this point. And Mike, speaking to that point, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the 49ers had pick 75, and they used it on a linebacker that was active for the past 2 games. And when D. Winters gets hurt, who happens to play the same position as pick 75, Curtis Robinson goes in.
Right.
What has Nick Martin done or not done to be thrown into the doghouse this year by Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh?
It's the most damning thing in the world, right? And I just how bad is this kid? Because I remember his first play in preseason, and it was not good. But he showed so much improvement from the first preseason game to the third one. I was like, oh, this kid's got a lot of promise. How much worse could he possibly be? The tackling was just nothing out there. This guy, that was also his issue in preseason. It was like he was moving so fast that he was missing tackles. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how many more people have to go down before he finally gets his chance and his opportunity. And it was odd because Robert Saleh talked about that in his final presser of the week before the game, and he was talking about, you have all the NFL players, and you have A and the elite guys, and you have Z. He goes, but the truth of the matter is these guys are just separated by this much of space or ability, and what's really the important thing is opportunity. Right. But he won't give him opportunity. He just won't give him a chance.
I mean, he's the Joe Williams of the defense so far. You waste a 3rd-round pick on the guy. There are actual injuries at his position, and he still can't get on the field. I mean, it's almost laughable. I don't know. I don't understand the logic here. When you need a spark, when you need some talent to come in and really provide something for the defense, I like Curtis Robinson. I think he's a solid special teams player, has a role on this team. He's not going to go out there and be your starting linebacker next to Tatum Bethune or whoever else, it should be Fred Warner, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to be that guy for the 49ers. So, I don't know. Hopefully Nick Martin can start to see the field. But until then, this is what it's going to look like. So they're about to go to half after the Texans go up, 13-0. The 49ers get the ball back with 7.5 minutes. And again, incomplete pass, run that's stuffed at the line, incomplete pass, 3rd and 10. Jones hits Jennings for 5 yards, who's immediately tackled. And they 3-and-out yet again. I mean, I think this is the 3rd or 4th 3-and-out of the first half. The Texans get the ball, go 11 plays, 62 yards in just under 5 minutes. On this drive, they convert a 3rd and 3. Let's see. 3rd and 14. And they ultimately kicked. There was also is this that play? I think where there was a play. Could be this one. I could be wrong. No, because that one was offsetting. Never mind. On 2nd and 10. Never mind. I'm confused here. So they're up 16-0, and the 49ers get the ball with 58 seconds left in the first half. And wouldn't you know it, Brian Robinson has a great kickoff return all the way to the 50. And on top of that, the Texans are flagged for a face mask, so it adds 15 yards. The 49ers start this drive at the 35-yard line of the Texans with 58 seconds and 2 timeouts. Immediately, Mac Jones hits Kendrick Bourne for 18 yards, incomplete pass, and then another incomplete pass, and it's 3rd and 10 at the Houston 17. And Jones, I can't tell if it was a great throw, a great catch, and a bad decision, or if Jones just knew he could fit that in there. But boy, was Kittle double covered, and Jones just fit that ball in a hole this big in between 2 defenders to George Kittle on National Tight Ends Day to get the Niners on the board before half. Shout out to George Kittle. Great catch. Mac Jones. What were you thinking when that ball's in the air, Mike?
Yeah. No. And even after, like, I see George, like, kind of corral it. Like, no. He really came down with that? Holy smokes. Right. Terrible decision. Great outcome. I hated the decision so much, man. But to talk about how this whole drive even started, like, just the penalty afterwards, like, I'm just so not used to us having nice things that he gets this big return. And I'm like, oh, my God, there's a flag. Of course there's a flag. Like, but what could have possibly happened? Like, he outran everybody. Why would someone hold? And then it worked in our favor. And I was like, holy smokes. Like, yes. Like, good job. Go us. So this whole drive was one that gave me a little bit of life, right? So you have terrible things happening all game long for the offense, defense. And then finally the defense gets a stop, kind of, right? And then we get in the end zone. You have a good play by special teams, and then we get in the end zone, and then you got one more drive to go to here to close out the half.
Right. So there's 25 seconds, and I'm thinking, okay, can they just play defense for 25 seconds and go to half down 16-7? That felt like a huge win. Felt like an absolutely huge win. And the 49ers defense on 2 plays, Stroud goes deep for Noel, and he's intercepted. The 49ers get their first interception of the year.
There we go. Make some noise, y'all.
Yes, Deommodore Lenoir gets his first interception for the 49ers in I don't know how many games, 13 games, 14 games at this point.
I think it was 15, I think they said.
15, okay. Now, he's pulling a Dre Greenlaw. I don't know if he thinks he caught this pass with 0-0 on the clock, but he reminded me of Dre Greenlaw against the Packers in that divisional round, just going back and forth, backwards, this way, that way, zigzagging all over the field. Mike, if he sees the time on the clock and he zooms down the sideline and gets out of bounds, maybe Pinheiro can come out there for like a 50-yard kick. Was that anywhere on your mind when he's running with the ball?
He stepped out of bounds with 4 seconds left on the clock. A little bit before that, it was right when he gets the interception and then he spins. I'm actually gonna give you the screenshot of it. He's out of bounds here, or maybe I can just do a share screen.
Yeah.
There's 6 seconds left on this clock. Here, I'll share my screen. And I was so furious that no one tried to challenge it. I'm going to turn off the audio because it is a video, but I'm zoomed in on it. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He stepped out of bounds, but they just didn't call it. So he intercepts the ball, and he does like this weird spin thing here. I'll slow this down so you guys can see. So when he gets this ball, right there, he's out of bounds. I don't know why they didn't stop that. Stop the clock. I mean, yes, it's only 6 seconds. What are we possibly going to do here, right? But, like, still, he's out. So I'm not going to hit play anymore. I'll stop sharing because I don't want us to get flagged for anything. But, like, dude, he was out of bounds there. I don't know if he thought he was going to try to run it all the way back. I think the team was just so desperate to make a play that we're overdoing the positive things that, you know, like this was kind of like it basically talked about the defense in general, right? Like even when you do something good, it's like you almost feel like it was bad, right? The pursuit angles today were terrible. The missed tackles. Every time we penetrated and got into the backfield, either after stride or a running back, they were still able to make plays out of it. Like no one could tackle today. The tackling was just so bad. I don't get it, man. But shout out to Diamador Lenore finally getting an interception and breaking the curse. And now I hope that they can continue to come because we're going to need them.
Yeah, thankfully.
There's no pressure on the quarterbacks.
You can get that. Exactly. I mean, Stroud had all day. And this Houston Texans, we went over it on the preview show, their offensive line was one of the worst in pass blocking all year. And it just happened to be the game. We don't have Bryce Huff. Nick Bosa's already out. You know, it's like, and then Samuel Kawanu gets hurt. Jordan Elliott gets hurt. It's ridiculous how many injuries. Alfred Collins gets hurt. CJ West was inactive to start the game, which looked like a bad decision because that middle of the defense was wide open all day.
Why was he inactive?
My only guess is they were trying to get an extra guy on the edge, and maybe they felt comfortable with Jordan Elliott and Kalia Davis and Alfred Collins in the middle. But I really don't know. I thought he was hurt. Turns out he was a healthy scratch.
Right. If they did it for, because he was participating in practice. If they did it for the edge, I mean, I guess it turns out that they needed it because Sam Owens up getting hurt, so they did need another body to go out there and play edge. Otherwise, you only had 3. But it's just we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, man. I mean, I see the comments here, and I want to reply to a lot of them, but it's like we don't have good coverage safeties. When we play zone, we suck. It's too much inexperience on the field to play as much zone as we play. These guys are feisty guys. You go out and you got a guy like Diamador Lenore and you have a guy like Upton Stout. Why are you playing zone with those aggressive type of players? Like, Stout had one of the worst penalties I've ever seen in my life in this game, right? But, like, I at least appreciate the aggression. Like, I'm not going to let you beat me. Like, I'll take penalties like that all game long if you're going to be sticky in coverage when they finally throw the ball to you. Because, like you said, anytime they targeted someone, never mind. I don't want to get ahead of the recap. But this was it was bad, man. It was so bad.
It was frustrating. Stroud had all day to throw back there. My yeah, quest for 263. Jennings face mask was blatantly obvious. Mac Jones finally had a good run, right? Like along the sidelines for a first down. And Jennings just completely boneheaded decision. Grabs the defender's face mask right in front of the ref when it's at the end of the play already. Like, there's absolutely no reason for this. The defender at most is going to, push Jones out of bounds and maybe draws a flag. Like, just boneheaded decision by Jennings. But go ahead.
I don't understand why he was such a big part of this game plan today. He finished the game with 4 receptions. I counted 4 drops on him.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, and by the way, at a certain point in the game, I had him 0 for 4. All 4 were drops. Yeah. I don't understand why Kyle just insisted on continuing to give this kid the ball. It was driving me crazy. So I don't know, like, why he's like forcing him to be the guy out there. I don't know. Maybe he really respects the depth chart.
Especially when you have George Kittle back, you have McCaffrey back, Kendrick Bourne, in my opinion, has been way more effective than Jennings this year. You get Jordan Watkins active for the first time, where you finally get some speed on the outside. And you go to Jennings, the big, slow receiver who can't separate. No disrespect to Jennings, but, that's not his game. That's not his game. Right. Is contested catches, big physical guy. You don't have to necessarily have 1 to 2 yards of separation because he's going to make that catch for you.
Right.
I just don't get it. So, yeah, and the thing with the defense, and I don't want to spend too long focusing on the defense because I do feel like you said, Mike, they're undermanned to begin with going into today. They lose more guys, so it's not really fair to them because the offense put them in a horrible position in the entire first half by going 3 and out, 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 and the Texans are going 10 plays plus drives to score. They're already gassed. But the defense, the thing that really bummed me out is the front 4 is beat up. The entire front 7 is beat up. You're without Bosa. You're without Huff. There were injuries to the defensive line today. You're without Fred Warner, obviously. You have Bethune, who played great last week. Not so great this week. Winters gets hurt. The secondary is the most healthy and experienced unit of this defense. Aside from Upton Stout, right? Mm-hmm. But Lenore's been here. Mustafa's been here. This is his second year at least. Brown's been here a few years. Mm-hmm. if there's one unit that needs to step up and take kind of the leadership role of the defense, in my opinion, it's the secondary. Because they're the most healthy. And I get they're beat up, but they are the most healthy of everyone on that defense. And they just couldn't. They were giving up, 3-4 yards of cushion on each route. So
yeah, it was bad. Every time there was a completion, there was like the person in the screen with him was just not like that was supposed to be your guy. Like, why so much space given up? I don't understand, man. I don't think Upton Stout is who they think he is. They were really, really insistent on putting him in, and I don't get the rush to putting him in out there, but cool, not my decision.
Dare I say, Chase Lucas, we looked pretty good last week in for Upton Stout.
Yeah. So I don't get it, man. The safeties are fucking terrible. I hate our safeties, and one of them's from my backyard. Like, I hate our safeties. I'm sorry. I never want to see them in coverage. I never want to see them in pass coverage at all. Like, I never want to see them down the field in coverage. I don't like seeing our safeties play the safety position. I'd rather them play linebacker or nickel, like short underneath. It's so bad. And this staff just keeps calling this shit. Like, have they tried other stuff and said, we're even worse at that, so this is what we have to do? Maybe we haven't seen it. Maybe maybe they do practice something different. And then it's so bad in practice, they say, fuck it, we're just going to stick with this because this is that.
Maybe. I mean, maybe this is the best they think they can do. It's atrocious. I don't really have any answers for it outside from a trade. Because this is who they are. This is who they're stuck with unless something happens. So, So they force the turnover to end the first half, right? And they go in 7-16 thinking, okay, they're getting a little momentum. It's much better than 16-0. And they get the ball to start the third. By the way, the entire third quarter, is this correct? The entire third quarter, there were 3 possessions. Combined, the entire third quarter. So, Niners get the ball to start the third, and they're down 9 points, right? I don't understand why they didn't go for 2 after that first touchdown to try and make it 16-8 in a 1-score game, but okay, whatever, it's fine.
Right.
16-7, you get the ball, and first down, 7 yards to Jennings, great first play. Second down, McCaffrey stuffed. Third down, incomplete pass, but really Mac Jones kind of chucks it at the feet of George Kittle because there's nothing there. And they punt. They go 3 and out and punt. The Texans, on the other hand, get the ball at their own 6. We're thinking, all right, we at least pinned them deep now.
Yeah,
Boy, we're going to get like a pick 6, or we're at least going to get a 3 and out. Or no, the Texans go 12 plays, 94 yards, chew up 6 minutes, and end the drive with a 30-yard touchdown pass to Hutchinson. I mean, just laughable. Absolutely laughable. And by the way, that was on 3rd and 7 at the Niners 30. Mm-hmm. They could have gone, this drive included conversions on 3rd and 5 at the Houston 25, 3rd and 10 at the Houston 33, and 3rd and 7 at the Niners 30.
It was the 3rd and 10 the one where he ran the ball up the sideline? Where
no, not yet. This was a pass to Dalton Schultz for 17 yards.
Gotcha. Okay. This drive was beyond frustrating. Like, it's almost like they took the Niners script.
Yeah.
And did it. Like, normally when you back the Niners up, it's like, oh, we're going to score on this drive. Like, that's just, I don't know why Kyle, really, figures shit out the further he has to go. Like, it just wasn't our game. It was not Niner ball.
Niner faithful, 80-42. How do you think Jair Brown played on? I mean, I think Mike was just saying it. He doesn't want to see Jair Brown anymore.
Yeah, no, but he did have some positive moments in this game. I liked when they blitzed him a couple of times. Like, he got in there. The one blitz that he had, actually, this is funny. The play that I was just asking if that was the conversion, that 3rd and 10, where C.J. Stroud, he's in the pocket, a blitzer comes right at him, but no one has contained on the left side of the offense. So Jair Brown comes down the middle, gets in his face. He's like right there. Oh, I'm gonna get him. And then he busts out and rolls to the left, and there's no one there. And he just runs down the sideline for 20 yards or some shit. I don't know. But it's like Brown had some positive moments. I want to be very clear. He had a tackle for a loss today that was very impressive, but there's just also more negative than there is positive overall. And not for nothing, like I said, I'd rather see them play the linebacker or the nickel position. I don't want to see them in coverage. That's where he struggles. He takes very poor angles. Like he's going to be the last person to make a tackle, and he should be the first person to make the tackle. Like as far as like running downfield, like towards the end zone, he's always out of place, coming from behind. He's never takes the right. It's not good. I don't like the way he plays.
Watching him today, I thought, holy shit, he's Jamal Adams. Like he's Jamal Adams. He's not good in coverage. He's okay. He's effective as a blitzer. Mike, I think you said it best. Move him to linebacker. Maybe he's a solid linebacker. This team needs linebacking depth. I just don't know if safety is where he's going to be most effective. I get Robert Saleh's trying to like salvage something with him and turn him into something for the Niners. And he has looked okay at times, but coverage is just not his strength, unfortunately. Pass coverage is just not his strength. So, so they give up the touchdown, and the 49ers get the ball back down, 7-23, and they put on their best drive of the day. McCaffrey 9-yard run. Jones hits McCaffrey for another 4 yards. After an incomplete pass, Jones hits Kittle for 4 yards. 3rd and 6, Colby's false starts, backs them up, but then Will Anderson's offside, so moves him forward. 3rd and 6, Jones scrambles for 10 yards. McCaffrey 3-yard run. McCaffrey 9-yard run. Jones hits Kittle for 17 yards. 1st and 10, we're down to the Houston 20 at this point. 1-yard run. Jones is sacked for an 8-yard loss. And on 3rd and 17, Jones hits Juwan Jennings all the way down to the 2-yard line for 25 yards. And Mike, stop me if I'm wrong, but Juwan Jennings seems to like drop the easy ones and catch the absolutely like soul-crushing plays where he just gets crushed in between two defenders. And that's exactly what happened here. I mean, he had no business catching this pass, but he gets absolutely just worked by two defenders, but he catches it. He catches the ball down to the 2-yard line for a 25-yard reception on 3rd and 17. And then the next play, Jones hits Jake Tonjes in the end zone for the touchdown, and they get the 2-point attempt to DeMarcus Robinson. Suddenly, it's an 8-point game. Do you have like a sense of hope at this point, Mike? Are you thinking, holy shit, are they going to come back and tie it up?
No, at this point, I realize that no matter what the offense did, we could have scored every time we touched the ball, like literally the first time. The defense was just going to let them score again. So at this point, I knew it was over. Yeah. I just laughed. Like it did not matter what the offense did at that point. Like we just weren't stopping anybody.
By the way, the Texans' first punt came at 4:23 left in the fourth quarter. They had punted until 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They had scored every single possession up until that point. I mean, it was just ridiculous, unacceptable, really. So after making it an 8-point game.
Wait, before we leave this drive, did you notice anything else that happened on this or after this drive? Or no.
Nothing that sticks out to me.
So this is the drive where there was the false start by Connor Colby, right?
Right.
That was it for him.
Really? He got pulled?
They pulled him and put in Nick Zakelj. Yep.
Really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So it's like we'll make changes at some positions, but not at all the ones that you guys want us to make the changes at. So I don't get it, man. I don't understand. But just wanted to point that out to people. I was trying to find the snap counts for the game today, but I can't find them. So.
Okay. So they get it to an 8-point game, but then they give up a 10-play, 58-yard drive that ends in a field goal, which at that point is basically like a dagger in the back and the heart, because now it's a 2-possession game again. You're back up to 11 points, and the 49ers just, it seems like, except for a very few circumstances, Mike, when they get down 2 scores early on, doesn't it seem like that's almost like insurmountable for this team, regardless of who's absolutely in the offense?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't. But for some reason, even 6-0 felt like 24-0 today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you look around the league, and like bad teams can even overcome huge deficits, right? I don't know if you guys were watching or had your eyes on Red Zone. Like you saw what the Jets came back from to beat the Bengals. Like I mean, like it's not. And I think Kyle Shanahan is a very emotional play caller, and I think that permeates throughout the team when he gets into certain moods. And it just felt that way. Kyle was so frustrated that when we were down 3 scores on our last drive with like 20-something seconds, he was actually calling plays out there. Like, I'm going to make you guys go out there and play this whole game. Just take the fucking knee and go home. Like, do you want someone else to get injured? What was he trying to accomplish? Can we just fast forward to that part? What was he doing? Can you tell me the mindset there? Is it like, we don't quit. We finish games all the way through? Like, am I bad at math or something? But they were going to get the ball back at some point, and we were down. Look at the final score. What were you thinking? Was there some 11-point play that I don't know about that Kyle Shanahan has in his bag?
Right.
You're down 2 scores. Like, just take the knee and go home. Why are you calling timeouts and playing the sidelines and going, like, actually calling dropbacks, knowing your offensive line sucks? And their defensive line have been feasting all game long. Why are you you're on your backup quarterback already? Like, show some sort of like, hey, you know what? Let's get out of here as safe as possible. All right. Let's just take knees.
Well, to speak to
Trent Williams hobbled all game long. Sorry.
Yes. No. You're right. And to speak to that, the second to last drive for the Niners, they're down 11, but they get the ball with 4 minutes left. And they're actually moving the ball pretty well. 17-yard pass, 8-yard pass, 6-yard pass, 27-yard pass. And then Mac Jones on 2nd and 10 from the Houston 41 hits McCaffrey, who breaks a couple tackles, gets down to the Houston 29. But then he goes deep for Jawan Jennings, trying to get a play in before the second 2-minute
before the 2-minute warning. Yeah.
Kamari Lassiter had inside coverage the entire route. If you're going to throw that pass, that needs to be at the back pylon.
Yeah.
Or it's either incomplete or Jawan catches it, right?
Terrible.
That ball is underthrown, and you want to see Jawan at least get an OPI call. But he just kind of goes up to try and get the ball, and Lassiter boxes him out and gets the interception. When that happened, that should have been game. The Niners got a miracle that wasn't a touchback. It was down at the 1. But even still, it didn't matter because the Texans still got a couple of yards and a first down or 2.
Yeah.
So, they went 3 plays, 6 yards, so they did have to punt. But the Niners get the ball back with 50 seconds left, Mike, down 11, and he's dropping Mac Jones back, and he immediately gets sacked. Gets sacked.
I'm like, Kyle, what are you doing, bro? And, like, we're sitting there. Now that the game is over, I'll say it. I was like, he's going to get McCaffrey hurt.
Yes.
Like,
McCaffrey took a really big shot in the fourth quarter. He's, like, running to his right, and he didn't see a defender, and boom, he got hit, man.
Mm-hmm. But it was like, with 50 seconds left, there's no 11-point play. Like, just go home. Just fucking go home, buddy. Like, it's over here. Unless you were going to score on that in particular play.
Right.
Like, and then you still only had 1 timeout left. So, like, what were you going to do after you kicked the ball off? Maybe you do the onside kick and we get it. All right, cool. Special teams was kind of the hero of the third day, right? Like, so I don't know I just don't know what he was thinking. After that sack, though, it was like, you should go. And he kept trying to run plays.
Yes.
That 2-minute drill, though, Zach, it frustrated me so much because he was trying to get that ball out before 2 minutes. Everybody was confused. I don't know if you saw like the receiver. So I was like, well, we know Robinson's not getting the ball because he's looking like where you over here, over there. That's not right here, right here. So it's like, all right, well, he's definitely not the person that's getting the ball here. Like, and so terrible throw. Like, that's 2 really bad throws. One of them happened to be a touchdown, and the other one was an interception. You can't keep playing with those kind of odds. You can't.
Well, it seems like this is like a reoccurring theme for the Niners when they're trying to get a play in before either 2-minute warning or the play clock runs out. There's confusion. I'd rather see them just burn the timeout, honestly. I would rather see them burn the timeout or in this case, let the 2-minute warning occur. I get you're trying to get it, but it seemed like to me Jones was going to Jennings pre-snap. Like there was no other, and he had pressure in his face where he had to throw that up just as a prayer. And that was not a good enough pass to where it's either Jennings catches it or it falls incomplete. And we saw that, and it's evidenced by the fact that it was intercepted. So it's really frustrated because I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a score to make it a 1-score game before the 2-minute warning. But is it really worth it? I mean, just take the fucking 2-minute warning and live to play another down.
Right. And like, well, if it works, then we're sitting here like, oh man, Kyle was in his bag, right? And I'm not saying it was a bad play call, right? But you can't show two receivers asking, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're kind of like spilling the beans here. And like,
Right.
It was definitely predetermined. The comment you had up there, CMC was open on that play.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. It was a predetermined hurry up, snap the ball. That was a series of plays that Kyle was building up and leading to. Jones has to throw that one deeper. You can't throw it short. You can't throw that one short.
So Texans take over, and they end up having a punt. And then, like we said, with 50 seconds left, Jones gets sacked, incomplete pass on second down. He hits Jordan Watkins, who gets his first career catch for 7 yards.
Like 7. Watkins,
and then on 4th and 13, he hits Bourne for 9 yards. And that's it. Turnover on downs. End of the game. The box score. Jones finished 19 for 32, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 2 times. McCaffrey, 8 rushes for 25 yards. Jones almost had more rushing yards than him on 2 carries. He had 2 for 23. Juwan Jennings finishes as the leading receiver, 4 for 45 on 7 targets. Bourne had 3 for 44 on 4 targets. Kittle, 4 for 43 on 5 targets. McCaffrey, 3 for 43 on 6 targets. Just...
How many targets did you say Jennings had?
Jennings had 7 targets.
That's so he has 4 catches. He dropped 4 in the first.
They probably called
unless one of them was a penalty.
Uncatchable or something like that. Who knows?
Maybe one of them was a penalty or something also. Like maybe one of his drops, there was a penalty on it. But the Niners didn't even, we didn't even have a bad day as far as, penalties go. I think we only had, 4 penalties in the game. Right? It wasn't bad, but,
We had 4 for 30, whereas the Texans had 8 for 55.
Right. It was just, small ticky-tack stuff that was going on as far as the penalties in this game. But, I'm going to use numbers that aren't 100% accurate. We gave up 500 yards of offense today to the Houston Texans without starting wide receivers and a bad offensive line. Right?
475.
It was 470. Yeah, it was 475. Fine. I'm 500 yards, right? Listen to this. We had the ball for 1 quarter in this game. They had it for 3. As far as time, I know it's going to be 18 minutes to 41 or whatever.
18:38 to 41:22. Yep.
Yeah. Bro, 500 yards, 1 quarter of possession. You can't win games like that. You can't win games like that. Nothing else mattered. That's it. If you're going to give up 500 yards to an opponent, 450 plus, it's over.
Right.
It's over.
Right. Forever Bless hit to Mac's face with no call. There were 2 plays, including the interception, where Mac Jones took forcible contact to the face, and the refs didn't call either of them. I mean, not to be that guy, because it's not like that's the reason they lost, but it's like, I know if that happened on the 49ers, where it's their defense, they would have thrown that flag immediately. So I don't get it. I don't get it.
And there was a big play for the Texans. I don't remember if it was a touchdown or not. It was a huge play, and it was a clear block in the back. They kept showing the replay over and over.
Right.
And the official was standing right there.
Yes.
And I'm like, how don't they call this? I just didn't get it.
If it's the same play I'm thinking of, Travis Gibson was coming across the corner to the line to get pressure on Stroud. It looked like he was about to be a strip sack, like he was this close to getting him. Stroud's back's turned towards him. And the right tackle for the Texans just completely tackles him from behind.
He shoves him to the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did they not see that?
Yeah, and it was a big play, either a touchdown or a big play. I don't remember which it was exactly. But I don't understand how that's not a penalty. But they called ticky-tack shit against the Niners all day. There was a play where there was a clear holding on the Texans' offensive line. And I'm like, great, they finally called holding on them. They've been holding all day. And then they're conferring, and I'm like, oh, great. What is it now? Oh, there's 3 penalties, 2 holding penalties against the Texans, and 1 illegal contact against the Niners on Upton Stout.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's football math. Because offsetting penalties.
Right.
2 versus 1. How
2 10-yard penalties.
Right.
Versus 1 5-yard penalty, and that offsets. How?
Like,
and
right,
they didn't even show the illegal contact Like
Right,
I have no idea what it was. They didn't show it. I saw the holding. I saw both holdings,
Right.
but I didn't see the illegal contact. We just have to kind of take their word for it. So, they said it was on 48. So maybe it was on Bethune, but who knows? That's just what they're telling us. We got a super chat.
How was that offsetting? Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
From Delvin Thomas. Stop. Let me off the bus right here. Are we faithful or not? We have players below practice squad level stepping up. Our captains / so-called star players match the same energy, and we win the Super Bowl. I said it. That's yeah.
Okay.
That's faithful right there.
Well, I will say this. By no stretch of the imagination is the season over. I want to be clear, but we are reacting to this game in particular, though. That's what we're doing here. We aren't projecting. We aren't forecasting or anything like that. I will say this, as it pertains to this game. If you give up 470 yards, you're not winning games.
Right.
If you let the other team have the ball for over 40 minutes, you're not winning the game. I can't say that the turnover battle, like I think we were even today, right? I think it was 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
But they sacked us twice. We got no sacks. We barely got pressure all game long. I don't even want to talk about sacks. There was no sacks today. We can't win games playing the way that we're playing.
Right.
So, I mean, it's fine. I'm not anyone who's upset at this loss. I think everyone has the right. I don't mind losing games. It's the way that we lost this one. We just didn't show up for 90% of this game. Like, the team just wasn't here. They weren't here. And they practiced all week long for this game. Like, they knew that we had this opponent. This is the result of game planning and preparation. And that's the part that's discouraging. Are all these young players that bad that it's like, oh, man, like this, it's over? It's over. You let a guy dice us up. How many yards does C.J. Stroud have at the end of this?
318, I think.
He got 300 yards, and he didn't have his starting receivers.
318, 30 for 39, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
And our secondary was healthy to start the game.
Yeah.
Don't tell me Lenore didn't practice all week. I'm not dismissing what you're saying there, Niner Faithful, but it doesn't matter. He knows the playbook. He doesn't need to practice. If he's healthy, and which he was, then you don't need to go out there and practice. I'm cool with vets having rest and, let's get that little injury, that little ding, that bruise. Let's heal you up so you can go out there and do your thing. But like, you can't tell me that this is like, we got a game plan. We got to give ourselves a chance. And then this is the outcome. We faithful reserve the right to still be upset at the outcome of a game. Yeah. That's it.
I think what's most frustrating, too, is we knew once Bosa goes down, once Warner went down, and then all the other injuries occurred, the offense was going to have to take a step forward in leading this team. And like I said a few minutes ago, you can't go like 4 straight 3-and-outs to start a game when the opposing team is going 10, 11 play plus drives on your defense. They were gassed immediately. I mean, they were put in a position to fail immediately because the offense just shit the bed to start the game. And I don't understand what the game plan was, because Kyle knows this defense. I mean, it's DeMeco Ryans' defense. It's not like he's unfamiliar with what DeMeco Ryans likes to run. He ran it here. They have a ton of stars on that defense. I don't understand why we didn't see a lot of quick outs, a lot of quick passes, a lot of slants, a lot of screen passes. Like,
did you see the one screen that they threw and how terrible it was?
The one that almost looked like it was going to be a double pass to McCaffrey. Is that what you're talking about? It was atrocious. Scrap that play, burn it, throw it out of the playbook right now, because it was atrocious. I'm like, what are we doing here? What is this play?
I'm like, I really was like, are they letting them through on purpose? When McCaffrey caught the ball, so they send Juice out there. Kittle's on that side also. Like, when he caught the ball, the Texans players were already past the blockers that were supposed to be. So I was like, did they let them through on purpose?
Right.
Like, is this supposed to be like a dump off over their head or something? I had no idea what that was. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, Ryan Jones, I'm not blaming the defense when they were on the field for 25 minutes in the first half. Sorry. I agree with you. 100%. That's why I'm not trying to shit on the defense. It seems like we're talking about them the most because they were on the field the most today, and we have the most to talk about, but it's not really their fault. They were put in a bad position. Like, to start the game, they were already in the negative, right?
Yeah, but Ryan, they were on the field. get the fuck off the field. Like what I'm saying is, if they could get some 3 and outs, if they could have got some stops, then they don't live on the field as long. Maybe the offense does go back and go another 3 and out. Maybe that does happen. I'm not saying that they don't, because the offense was terrible today. But what I'm saying is the defense had plenty of opportunities. A lot of those long 9+ play drives, there were missed tackles on every single one of them. Every single one of them. So, like, the defense has to also be better.
Agreed. I mean, there's really not much else to say about this game. As far as injuries, after the game, Kyle said, let me see here. Jordan Elliott, ankle injury. Sam Okuwanu, ankle injury. Alfred Collins, shoulder injury. He did return. D. Winters, knee inflammation. Shanahan said Elliott and Okuwanu don't appear to have high ankle sprains, although Okuwanu was carted off onto the sidelines. I don't really know where he was. He stayed in the hallway to the locker room, from what I'm hearing. So, I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Alfred Collins had a really good play in this game. I feel like it was a big play also. I don't remember the result, but he like bust through the middle of the line and was like right in Stroud's face. I mean, that big club coming towards him, but he got the ball out in time. So I don't know. We'll see.
The one, he said it wasn't high ankle, or at least it doesn't appear to be high ankle sprain. So who knows what the injuries are, but don't appear.
Don't listen, guys. It also didn't appear to be an ACL for Nick Bosa. I'm never letting that go.
Right.
So,
Mike, does this performance put any extra pressure on John Lynch to make a move?
No, honestly, I walked away from this game saying we shouldn't trade for anybody. And not because of, I think the answers are here. I think there's just too much to fix. I don't think that one position fixes this. Like, you don't have Nick Bosa for the rest of the season. I think that Samo has a high ankle sprain. So let's say we get Huff back next week. Maybe he's a week early. Maybe he's not. Maybe he comes back in 2 weeks, like they said. So he misses this game and then he misses the Giants game. That's cool and all. Who's the person opposite of him? Because you just lost the person opposite of him, which was Samo. So, like, are you trading for a corner? Are you trading for a safety? Are you going to trade for an offensive lineman? Like, what's the defensive tackles? It's got to be defensive tackles. I think there's just too much. A linebacker, you probably need another linebacker, right? I forgot about the linebacker. You probably need that also. I just think it's too much, and that's my point. I saw too many holes to say that trading anything is going to be the answer. It's just too much. If we saw something positive and say, okay, that guy's got potential, we can build on these guys. Maybe if we get a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, then the secondary will be even better. There's no answer. Because if you go out and trade for somebody on the defensive line, no matter who it is, what position, Quinnen Williams on the inside, I don't care. You can go get freaking Myles Garrett. I don't care. Whoever you trade for and acquire to help at the pass rush is going to be the person they double team. So you just invested that pick for them to be nullified all game also.
Okay. Taylor House of Gifts says there are no moves. We got 4 more losses coming this season. So my take on this is, even if that's true, you're 10-7.
Exactly.
You probably get a wild card spot. You probably, at the very least, a 7th seed. And I if there's a player they can get that has a year left on their deal past this year, I think it's worth it. I do think it's worth it. If they can get like a Jermaine Johnson or a Jalen Phillips or someone like that who, or a DT, like you said, Mike, who has a year remaining past this year, I think it's worth it because it helps you compete in the short term, and you still have a year when Bosa comes back. You have another year of Bryce Huff. I think it would be beneficial for the 49ers to make this trade because look around. Everyone is hurt aside from like 2 teams. I think the Colts and the Chiefs are like the only healthy teams right now. There's a lot of parity. The Niners fell from 5-2 to 5-3. They're still at the top of the NFC. Now the rest of the NFC West had a bye week this week, so they fall to 3rd just because they have a third loss and the Rams and Seahawks don't. But they're still in the mix. Now, maybe we're looking in 4 weeks, we're looking back and thinking, wow, they're 5-7 now, and boy, were we stupid for thinking. I just don't know if that's going to look. Let me pull up the next few games. Let me pull up the next few games for the Niners.
So while you're pulling that up, oh, go ahead.
Well, we know they go to the Giants next week, who just lost Scadaboo with a Fred Warner ankle. And then they have the Rams at home. Now you've already beaten them. Just throwing that out there. You should have Pearsall back at the very least for that game. And then you go to Arizona, who you've also already beaten. And then you have the Panthers on a Monday night, who look beatable. And then you go to the Browns, who can only beat themselves every week. And then you have the Titans. So the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
That Browns defensive line is going to beat the shit out of whoever our quarterback is.
It
sorry.
is, for sure. So let's just say you lose to the Browns and the Rams. If you go 4-2 over the next 6, that puts this team at what, 9-5? 5?
Yeah, 9-5.
With 3 games left?
Yeah,
and the 3 games being Colts, Bears, Seahawks. Even if you split those,
all winnable.
Or if you go 1-2, 10-7. If you win 2 out of 3, 11-6. I think that there's a move to be made that would help this team. I think they can beat the Giants without Bryce Huff, and then come back with Bryce Huff and whoever you just traded for at home versus the Rams for a meaningful game that hopefully you get Purdy, Pearsall, and others back for. Maybe even Ayuk.
Okay. Well, that's what I was going to ask you, right? Is your plan contingent on Purdy returning?
I would say Purdy is the second most important person that needs to return. Because I still do think they can win these games with Mac.
I think they can win them with Mac, but I think we need Purdy's scrambling ability.
I agree.
But now I do think that he puts himself in harm's way a lot, like with the scrambling thing. I think that he kind of doesn't know when to step up in the pocket versus escape the pocket. But we still need that. Like, I'd rather him be paranoid back there and running early than just standing there and getting hit every time, right? So I don't know if he's going to have that with the foot thing. But my other question to you is this. So let's say we make the trade, because I'm not opposed to it, right? And I get what you're saying. Like, we can make a playoff push if we can get there, so we do need a trade. And so I do get that. This player that we're going to go get has to be like a game-changing player, though, then, doesn't it?
I don't necessarily think so. You just need better than what we have right now, which isn't really that big of an ask, to be honest with you.
Right.
You just need someone with an ability to pair outside of, on the opposite side of Bryce Huff and Sam Okuanu when he comes back.
Or, I mean, there's a ton of options. So I'm not trying to overtalk you or nothing like that. We can go out and maybe make some trades that don't really require giving up draft picks, but maybe swapping draft picks, right? Like, Derek Barnett is a rotational piece, but a really good guy, right? Like, who's good against the run and has some pass rush moves. He had him coming out of college. He looked good at certain times with the Eagles, right? Like, he's a depth player on – what team is he on right now?
Isn't he on the Texans?
Is it the Texans?
Or
yeah,
the
I was
Eagles,
going to say,
maybe.
is it Derek Barnett? No, he was drafted by the Eagles.
I think he's on the Texans.
Yeah, yep, he's with the Texans, right. But, like, he's just a depth piece, right? What if we say, hey, we'll take your 6th and we'll give you a 5th, right? Well, we don't lose a pick, but we just exchange some things around. Mm-hmm. What if we can go and get 2 or 3 guys that way and then put them into the mix? Then, all right, so, like, now I can be convinced. I just don't know that there's a superstar that's out there that's going to come in and save the day. But maybe 2 or 3 guys can help.
Well, I agree with you 100%. I'm not saying there's a Max Crosby, Myles Garrett player out there that can come in here and just like that, the 49ers defense is fixed. That's not the case. But I'm hoping just for some help. I'm hoping for a guy that can come in and at the very least get pressure on the quarterback. At the very least, speed things up. Yeah. So
speed up that play clock,
I would be fine with that. And I'm not asking them to give up a first round. I'm not asking them to give up a second round. I think there are players to be had that you can, like you said, either trade a 5th round pick or, Arden Key, I know, has been floated out even though he's dealing with an injury. Now, I wouldn't be ecstatic over an Arden Key. I saw even a guy like Tyree Wilson from the Raiders, who was like the 9th overall pick, has all the physical traits and attributes, but just hasn't been able to put it together I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, I think there are guys that the 49ers over the past few years, when they've made these successful playoff runs, they get guys that are underutilized and are underperforming on bad teams and are able to flip them here and get production out of them. If you go back, Arden Key himself, I mean, he saved his career with the Niners. Cleveland Farrell saved his career with the Niners. I don't know about Chase Young if he necessarily did, but there are players that were playing poorly and were able to come in here. Charles Omenihu was not doing much with the Texans. Niners traded for him, and he was a really good rotational pass rusher for us. So, I don't know, man. I think there are trades to be had if the 49ers feel like they could really add to this defense without costing too much for the future. That's Kyle Shanahan's consistent answer. They have to help us this year and next year. So look for players that still have a year plus remaining on their deals and go from there.
Yeah, I like that. I do. The only I just don't know if that year plus thing is going to be out there. It's going to be tough. They have professionals that are combing through these teams with a fine tooth comb. Like I said, Derek Barnett, but I'm looking. This is the last year of his deal. And by the way, that was his first sack with the Texans.
Right.
Just
of course.
Like,
of course.
Yeah, welcome to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, welcome to the club. So It is what it is, man. He was my draft crush way back when we got
Same.
What was his name? We drafted in the first round. The first guy ever. Solomon Thomas? Thomas.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. By the way, the chat's asking anybody that's a free agent. Cleveland Farrell was cut. I mean, he's a guy that knows your system, has had success. They just need bodies at this point. I don't think he would be that bad to add. You have Evan Anderson on the practice squad. Maybe bring him up. So
no, you can't bring Drake Jackson back. He's injured. He's on IR.
Yeah, the Commanders signed him, I think, and then placed him on IR immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's hurt already again. So.
All right. Final thoughts, Mike? Any?
Nope. Just stay faithful, guys. Long season ahead. I knew this was going to be a tough one for our offense in particular. I just thought maybe our defense was going to be able to keep us in. This was not the defensive performance that I expected at all. I knew that defensive line was going to get after it. I told you guys, I watched that Monday Night Football game, and I was shivering at the idea of that defense coming in here and playing. And they were losing in that game badly, and that defense played all 4 quarters tough. I honestly think D'Amico Ryans went easy on the Niners. I really do think that he reeled those guys in some. I think he used some replacement level guys on the defensive line. Excuse me. Hence Derek Barnett getting his first sack with the, I think that he really took it easy. I think that last scoring drive that we had, they were up comfortably enough and knew that they were going to get the ball back, and we weren't able to stop them. I'm not saying that they gave us a touchdown, but I think they went a little soft. I think they went a little soft on the coverages that they were running. I think they went a little soft on not so much prevent, but like zone and space things out a lot for the Niners. They weren't worried about whether or not we scored. And I think they wanted to get out of there healthy as well. So They had just lost someone on the drive before that. So I think they started thinking about, all right, let's stay healthy and let's try to get out of here. So
Niners are 5-3. Like I said, they fall to the third in the division just because the rest of the teams had a bye week. It's not the end of the world. This was a game, not to pat myself on the back, that I had them losing when we did the season preview show. I just knew this Texans defense was for real. Now, to be fair, I thought a little more of the Texans offense heading into the season. I expected them to have Nico Collins and their starting receivers. For whatever reason, the Niners can never take advantage of opposing teams being down their starting players, whether it's on offense or defense. We just, like, Braxton Berrios looked like prime Wes Welker today against the Niners up until he got hurt. Cam Scadaboo shattered his ankle today. Tyrone Tracy's going to look like prime Saquon next week against the Niners. So it's unfortunate. I'm hoping none of these injuries are long-term. The 49ers could get some help. I think we're like 10 days before the trade deadline. So we'll see what they can do. Honestly, we'll see what they can do, and we'll go from there. But that's going to do it for today's show, guys. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of these afternoon games. Enjoy the Aaron Rodgers Bowl tonight, Pittsburgh and Green Bay. And that'll do it for tonight. Mike, if you could please do us the honor, sign us off.
Oh, yeah, guys.
Wait. Before you do that, let them know where they can find premium Niners content.
please head on over, guys. We had a lot of fun. Today was a little weird. It took us a while to get everything started, but Mike saved the day over there. He came through and helped me out big time. So, but patreon.com/NB9ERS. We have a lot of fun over there. I saw a lot of people in my halftime chat, for the halftime show, and they were like, man, this is a lot of fun. You should really check out the Patreon then. So patreon.com/NB9ERS is where you guys can go out and get some extra content in addition to like the presser breakdowns and all that. I did see someone ask if I was going to do a presser breakdown. Not tonight. I am going to go spend some time with my kids tonight, but that'll be coming tomorrow. So you guys will get that as well. All right. Our buddy Matt was not able to. Oh, go ahead.
One last thought. Sorry to cut you off. At least two of the three losses are to the AFC. The only loss to the NFC was to the Bucs, and then the Jags and the Texans today. They still mean a loss, but it's like half of a loss in reality.
Yes,
so it's a little,
and that's why the season's far from over. Like we if we can get healthy, go on a run. Like I'm saying it as if like it's just given, right? But like if we get certain guys back. This offense should look a lot better once Pearsall comes back. Ayuk's practice window should be opening up soon, right? The second half has to be better than the first half.
Right.
It has to be.
And it's not like we have the Lions, Bucks. Like, it's not like we have 6 of the next 8 games are against teams with like 6 or better wins. Like, no, the schedule breaks in the Niners' favor the second half.
There's no Eagles.
There's maybe
no
3 to 4 losable games.
Right.
Every game's losable to this team, but you know what I mean? Like, games where they shouldn't be favored in, I should say. So,
yeah.
I just had to throw that out there, make everybody feel a little less jump off the ledge.
Doom and gloom, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, save the doom and gloom for another time, guys. It's way too far to start throwing in the flag. You know what I mean? The Rams game worried people when we were playing them before, too, and look at how that turned out. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, man. Division games are always strange. But that's why we got to stay faithful out there, guys. So, on behalf of Matt, for Zach and myself, stay faithful and go Niners.